Well, hello and welcome to this Fotospeed video with me, Tim Jones, as always. Today we are looking at screen calibration and the devices that Calibrite offer. They have a new range of devices that have come onto the market in the last few years, and thought it's about time that we looked at each of these devices and explain the differences between them all and how much money you need to spend on your calibration device for your screen. But before we dive into any of that, please don't forget, as always, to subscribe to the Fotospeed YouTube channel and sign up to the Fotospeed newsletter, and also download the free ebook from us covering everything you need to know about printing called The Art of Printing, and you can just download that from photospeed.com. But I'll also put links to all of that in the description below for you as well. So that's a little bit of housekeeping out of the way, the boring bit. Now let's look at some screen calibrators from Calibrite and find out which one would suit your needs the best. So Calibrite currently offer 3 calibration devices for your screen. The Calibrate 123, which is this little yellow one here. Now I've done a full video on this and why I think it is a great little device, but I will talk about why the differences between the bigger ones and the littler ones are. This is their entry-level screen calibrator. It's called the 123, but what I can figure out is you only have to press the mouse 3 times and it calibrates your screen for you. Nice and simple, just does the job fantastically. No fancy bits on here to kind of really dive into any settings and things like that, but I'll talk about that in a bit when we talk about the differences and things. But a really great device and will honestly cover most people's needs. The other device they do is their kind of middle range kind of device, and that's called the Display Pro HL, and it's this little black device here. If anyone had an X-Rite i1 display, it looks very similar. It's just in a black case here. It's actually, all these devices are powered by X-Rite. As far as I understand, Calibrite licensed the technology from X-Rite, and they are the Calibrite devices, but they look very similar to the i1 display devices as well. There is also a device that I don't actually have on the table here, which is the Display Plus HL. Which is their flagship device, which measures the most nits and is the most powerful device and things. But we'll talk about those differences in a bit between these devices and why you might need the Plus over the Pro and the Pro over the 123. There is also a 4th device that I've put on the table here because I'm not going to talk too much about it today because it is a screen calibrator, but it is also a paper calibrator and things. I've done a whole separate video on the Color Checker Studio. I'll put a link in the description below for you if you wanted to learn more about it. But I just wanted to make a mention of it, that there is this device that will calibrate your screen and will calibrate your paper or profile your paper as well, if you wanted to do it yourself. And the video I did a few months ago was comparing the Color Checker Studio from Calibrite to a custom profile we've created on our super duper ISIS Pro device in the office here, and the differences between it, and the difference if you wanted to spend £400 or $500 kind of on one of these devices, or get the profiles done first for free, what would be the differences? Well, in that video, I go into all that detail as well. So check out the link in the description below if you want to have a look at it. What we're looking at today, though, is these screen calibration devices. And first of all, I want to talk about why we probably should be calibrating our screens. Now, really, the essence is that if we have our printer profiled, so the color is correct according to the International Colour Consortium on our printer, then we want our screens to match that colour effectively. It's all about trying to bring that difference between print and screen a little bit closer for us. So if we have a calibrated screen, then hopefully our editing is going to be easier. We're not going to be so disappointed when the print comes out of the printer. We're going to be able to colour match a little bit easier and things as well. Those are really the basic reasons why we should be kind of calibrating our screen. It's for consistency and accuracy, really. We want predictable colour coming out of our printer, and if the colour looks roughly the same, there's going to be some differences because of screen finishes. If you've got a matte or a gloss screen perhaps, and you've got a gloss screen and printing on a matte paper, there's going to be slight differences. But also brightness of screen and things like that can have a difference as well. But if you calibrate your screen, those differences are going to be very small. Where if you don't calibrate your screen, they're going to be quite wide. And you're probably, in the long run, going to be using more ink, paper, and more of your precious time as well, trying to get the right print. If you don't calibrate your screen, it will probably cost you a little bit more in the long run. However, I do know people that don't calibrate their screens at all. Now, I will not name names in this video, but they will look at the print, have a look at it. But they are going to be using more ink, paper, and time to do that. So there's a bit of a trade-off there. So that's the main reasons why we'd want to calibrate our screen. And Calibrite offer these 3 devices, well, 3.5 possibly, that can do this for you. Now, let me start with the 123, because this is their, I want to say entry-level device, but it is by no means an entry-level product. It is, I think, a pro product. It gives a really nice professional screen calibration, and at that price point of around that kind of £100, $110, $120, it is a real great device. It's USB-C, all these devices are. They come with little adapters as well if you need to plug into a larger USB port as well. But the 123 is a simple device. It's easy to use. You pop it on the screen and you follow the software, which is really nice and easy to use. And 123 has its own software as well. And you basically just follow the steps. You set the brightness, it measures all the color and measures the patches coming through the screen for you in the little lens here. And it produces a lovely color profile for you, which color profiles your screen according to the International Color Consortium and their patches they developed. And it gives you beautiful, kind of neutralizes the color on your screen. So hopefully if we've got profiles in the printer, then we'll match. What it doesn't do is it doesn't measure ambient room light as well, which can affect things. It can't do projectors or anything like that. You can't really dive into the settings and affect black points and gammas and all that kind of stuff that you can do with the more expensive devices that we'll come on to. And it also gives a range of about 300 to 500 nits. I probably should explain kind of what a nit is, because if you go onto Calibrite's website, they do talk about nits in their marketing material. So a nit is basically a measurement of brightness. So it says on my sheet over here, on my cheat sheet, I've got just off to the side of the camera here, 1 nit equals 1 candela per square meter. So to give you an idea, anywhere between 300 and 500 nits is the typical modern display. Now, as we all know, and if you've watched my calibration videos before about screen calibration and things, usually screens when they come out of the factory set at this 300, 500 kind of nit is way too bright for printing, and we need to turn it right down to about 100 nits or 100 candela. So the 123 covers that 300 to 500 nit range for most typical displays absolutely fantastically. And that is something that changes as we go up through the range. But for most people out there, unless you've got super posh screens and things like that, the 123 is going to do an absolutely fantastic job of color as well. Now, the Display Pro HL is the next one. And this goes up a little bit in price to about that $200, £200 price point. Now, what this is available to do is it pretty much exactly the same as the 123. It measures your color coming off your screen. It measures the brightness. And it is Calibrite's mid-entry, mid-level kind of screen calibrator. Little extra feature is it measures ambient light as well in the room. So that's a nice little feature. So if you're in bright light and then subdued light, it will just slightly try and neutralize that light for you with the brightness on the screen and things like that. It also supports screens with a wider color gamut. So this device supports Adobe RGB, which is fantastic, is what most of us print in. I got in massive trouble when I was talking about color space, so I'm going to avoid that like the plague. But this device will measure Adobe RGB for you. So it's a large color space. You can also go into the advanced settings and you can change things like gamma, black points and things like that. And really hone your display a little bit more as well. It also measures up to 1500 nits as well. So that is going into the kind of a HDR kind of realm of display and things like that. I'm not sure that it's vital for printing going that high, but maybe for video and things like that, if you do that as well, then this could be a nice alternative for you. And you've got extra features in there, like the extra settings, and you can really dial in to those settings. This is also compatible with BenQ's Palette Master as well, where the 123 isn't. So if you do have a BenQ screen, then you can use this device with their Palette Master software, which is a really nice addition. You don't have to use the Calibrite software that comes with it, although it is fantastic. Now, with this one in mind, the Display Pro HL, let's talk a little bit about the Display Plus HL that I don't actually have, but it looks exactly the same as this. And instead of Pro here, it just has Plus. Now this is Calibrite's top tier calibrator. So it has all the features of the Display Pro HL. So you can room lights. It has the Calibrite Profiler software as well, which both of the devices have. The 123 has its own software, so it has a Calibrite 123 software, where the Display Pro and the Display Plus have their Calibrite Profiler software, which is also linked into the color checker software as well. So the Plus supports HDR calibration, so massive color range it has. It can support up to 2000 nits as well, according to their marketing material. So if you're working with very high-end monitors and you're working in those HDR kind of realms of color, then the Plus is really worth looking at and investing in as well. Again, I'm not so sure it applies too much for us photographers and for printing in general. However, if you want the best of the best, then the Display Pro HL is that. It is really the best calibrator, I think, on the market at the minute. You will be paying for that a little bit. It is a little bit more. But most of us will be more than happy with the Display Pro HL or even the 123. I do most of the calibrations here in the office with the 123 now because it's just so simple and quick to use, and it does an absolutely fantastic job. Now, also, I should say that the Display Plus HL also supports OLED screens and mini panel LED screens as well. I should have said also with the display models, the Display Pro and Display Plus, you can also do projectors as well with them as well. So you pop them on a little tripod and you measure the light coming off of it as well. So nice little features that can all value added features on these devices as well. Now, which one is right for you? It's very much down to what kind of type of screen you have. If you have a screen that can support Adobe RGB, I'd probably look at the Display Pro HL. If your screen doesn't, and you've got a laptop, say, and you're just a very keen hobbyist photographer or semi-professional kind of photographer. Like I said, in most cases, I'm using the 123 here because it's nice and simple to use. And actually, most people in the office can use it as well, so it's even better. It's a nice, easy device. It does a great calibration for you. And it's probably what most of us are going to need. But if you do have, say, an ISO or a BenQ screen and you want a little bit more and just remove that doubt from your mind, then probably the Display Pro HL is what we would need. But the Display Plus HL is there for the people who want kind of the best of the best, and you really want to dive into those settings and make the best and the most use out of your screen as well. I think for most of us, kind of photographers, artists, you just want to calibrate their screen and make beautiful prints. I think the Display Pro HL is more than enough calibrator for any of us, to be honest. And for a large majority of us there as well, the Calibrite 123 is going to be more than enough of a calibrator for us. So I hope that's helped and explained a few of the differences between these three devices, please visit Calibrite's website for more information. You can get all these devices also on Fotospeed.com. So on that note though, don't forget to subscribe to the Fotospeed YouTube channel and also sign up to the Fotospeed newsletter to get exclusive discounts and keep up to all the news from us here at Fotospeed. And also don't forget to download The Art of Printing that actually talks about screen calibrators in a little bit more detail. And The Art of Printing is the free ebook from us here at Fotospeed. You can download that from photospeed.com. And don't forget, we release new videos here on the Fotospeed YouTube channel every week. So on that note, I will see you soon and bye-bye.